Hi Mathias, how are you doing?
I'm good. Calling in from sunny Copenhagen.
Nice, it looks sunny. Well, we're calling in from sunny Richmond in London. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I think that it's an honor to be joining this this event, and I'm excited for our talk.
I'm excited to do this as well. So we've got a lot to talk about, and it's an exciting day. So I thought let's start off by kind of telling people who we are. Do you want to go first? Do you want to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you're so passionate about this topic around gaming for good?
Sure. I'm Mathias Gredal in Nørvig. I head up a gaming studio in Denmark called Cyber. We were founded 12 years ago. 10 years ago we launched, or 11 years ago we launched the most downloaded game in the world, Subway Surfers, that is on a global world tour, bringing 150 million players every month into a city of our choice and showing them the worldhood of our nation, of our planet, but also has the ability to put some flavors into the world. So we are trying to do more green, more justice, more social, more diversity, and try to normalize that the environment around you matters and that your kindness towards yourself, to your surroundings, and to the planet makes a difference. So we have around 165 employees in Copenhagen, 20 people abroad, and then that spans over 45 different nationalities. So we believe that games can do a lot of good, and we're excited to both champion that in Playing for the Planet, a UN organization, but also with the book project you and I are doing, Jude.
Thank you, Mathias. And just, and it's brilliant to see and to kind of watch your journey of turning such a huge successful game into a force for good as well. Just quickly, so people know who I am. So I'm Jude. I'm the founder and CEO of a games company called Playmob, a gaming platform. So we are a platform which is collecting insights from players and leveraging that for good in terms of doing things like changing policy on climate change. So there are 3 billion gamers in the world, and so our platform is ultimately trying to connect with all those people, no matter where you are or who you are, and lift those gamers' voices to make real world change on important decisions that impact the people on the planet and the planet itself. Mathias, I'm going to throw a question back to you, because you're doing amazing work around using games as a force for good, and today is a really important day because it's Peace Day. Could you just tell me a bit about what does this day mean to you?
It probably means more than most would understand, because living in Denmark, which is such a peaceful country, sometimes my fellow Danes take it for granted that it's not that many decades ago it wasn't the case. So the fact that we can protect peace and we can encourage more peaceful solutions. Before I joined Cyber, I used to work with institutional investment in Sub-Saharan Africa, and I've seen firsthand both the struggles and the progress in Sierra Leone and DRC, Eastern Africa, and even Southern Africa. So helping spreading the message, helping supporting the cause, and seeing how the platform that gaming can be, the medium it is for reaching billions of people around the world, is something that is very meaningful to me, but also to my colleagues at Cyber. So the day is definitely a day that brings a lot of tragic stories with it, but also some hope and a lot of good stories about progress. So what does it mean to you?
Yeah, so I think, when I was thinking about this day and thinking about this question and topic, I thought, it's you kind of reflect on the industry, and some of this is touched on in our book, Gaming for Good, as well, where we kind of talk about games as being there are no borders, it's inclusive, it's diverse, and I think that whole message in terms of what can be achieved in the games industry and by playing games kind of lays the foundations for hopefully a more kind of peaceful world. And so I was reflecting on some of the topics that we'd talked about and written about, and also I think the other book that kind of sprung to mind, which has just launched as well recently, was James Batchelor's book. So James is a an editor at gamesindustry.biz, and he's also written a book called The Best Non-Violent Games, and it also got me thinking about how the games industry is perceived, and also how important James's book is and how important our book is to show that games aren't about violence. Violent games don't make violent people, and I think that's a really important message for our industry and about our industry, because it's only a small percentage of games that are adult content, and the majority of games are family friendly, and I think there's a real opportunity within the games industry to touch so many people and to kind of carry this message of creating a more peaceful world. And if we could all be a little bit more kinder to each other, which was, you know, listening to kind of the previous interview, you know, that was a message that really kind of stood out for me as well. Just be a little bit kinder to each other. And I think the opportunity that we've got, reaching 3 billion people every single day and engaging them in such highly engaging content, I think if we can really, you know, instill that message, and you know, we've got the opportunity within the games industry to really try and carry that message forward into the real world, and make the real world more peaceful as well as our gaming worlds. So I think today it's been about kind of reflecting on that message and reflecting on what our industry can do and the opportunity that games have to create a more peaceful planet.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's also what I think games is capable of doing, because it's a place where people spend their free time or some of the breaks in between meetings or in between school sessions. We have a big responsibility to normalize a world of color, a world of difference, and a world of meaning. And that means that in the gaming community, if you can allow your environment to have characters from different places in the world, with different disabilities, with different abilities, then you can also find yourself in the game. And I think back to the message of the previous talk, if peace starts with yourself, then finding that peace is sometimes also coming to terms with who you are, and that's okay. You should be who you are, you should love who you do, and you should be surrounded with people who support that narrative. That's not progressive, that's just humanistic.
Exactly. I love that, Mathias, that's brilliant.